He's holding two different articles and hold cockfights and
Colorful. I can see some patches.
angel, eagle, lion. Yeah, there's a work going on the ramp, so that's why the ferries are not there. The ferries are at the other point. So basically, the Portuguese boats or caravelas would anchor on the river, and then the people would walk in over here. On the right hand side, where now there's just a big a grove of coconut palms, that used to be the area where the warehouses were. So basically, all the goods coming off the boats would be stored in the warehouses over there and then would be supplied into the market, into the bazaar, which was beyond the wall, beyond the gate. Now what you're looking at in front is called the Arch of the Viceroy. And this Viceroy's Arch was constructed or built by the great grandson of Vasco da Gama, a young man called Francisco da Gama, in order to mark to mark or commemorate the coming or the arrival of Vasco da Gama into India. 100 years centennial celebration. Now Vasco da Gama landed...
Great-grandson of Vasco da Gama.
Great-grandson of Vasco da Gama. Francisco da Gama. Now Vasco da Gama landed in India, but in Calicut, in South India, Kerala.
Down to...
like you have Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, as you go to the southern western coast of India. So what you're looking at is unfortunately not the original arch. The original arch, quite a bit of it to that level had collapsed. It was actually this floor plus another level on the top. So when they rebuilt it, the top level was done away with, and you only have the niche left there where they have kept, be careful, there's a vehicle coming, where they have kept the statue of Vasco da Gama. So this is the statue of Vasco da Gama over here, And then when we go on the other side, you will see the statue of St. Catherine of Alexandria, who was considered or declared the patroness of the city of Goa or Old Goa by the Portuguese ruler Alfonso de Albuquerque. So let's go.
We walk to this side.
We are going up there, inside.
Not to this side.
That is just a river.
Can we see this where the Vasco da Gama landed, right?
Okay, no, Vasco da Gama did not come to Goa. He was in Kerala, Cochin. But the great grandson, who was the governor of Goa, to commemorate his arrival into India, not Goa, that to mark the 100-year celebration, this arch was built. This arch was built. The arrival point is in Calicut, in South India, Kerala.
Okay.
I think now they call it Kozhikode, if I'm not mistaken. The names have changed so much, no?
Ark of Viceroy.
What is it?
Ark of Viceroy. The Ark of Viceroy.
There's a write-up of it clearer on the other side. This is covered with moss, but on the other side, I think that is better.
This one?
No. This is a plaque of the Portuguese, that one over here. There. You see, it's clear. So you can see what is written on it. If you turn around and look on the top, you see the statue of St. Catherine, who was declared the patroness of Goa by Albuquerque. Now, if you look in both her hands, she's holding two different articles. And they say depending on which article you're focusing on, you interpret it, you give a meaning to it. Like if you look in the right hand where she has the O, then it would signify or say that the Portuguese are now calling themselves the masters of the sea, the masters of the ocean over the Greek Argonaut. So the man at her feet would represent the Greek Argonaut. And then if you look on the other side, there's a book or the Bible in a hand. So if you focus on the book or the Bible, then it would mean that they want to announce the triumph of Christianity over the Muslim or the Moors. So depending on which article you're focusing, you interpret it.
And this is standing on someone.
That's what I said. The man lying at her feet could either represent the Greek Argonaut, if you're looking at the O, and if you're looking at the book or the Bible, it would represent a Muslim. Two different interpretations of it.
Okay.
So this is the original one?
Yeah.
Only other side we
The statue is original, but the arch I told you was much higher.
Yeah.
You know, there was another level.
Yeah.
Which they broke, and then they just put that bit and kept it one level.
These trees must be
At least 100 years old. These are what they call the rain trees.
not original. Not originally from India, I believe, right? Is it?
I'm not very sure.
You also have few, I see, in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. If you want to have something to drink or something, there's a restaurant in the front.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to the Church of St. Cajetan or San Caetano in there, and then we'll go carry on.
Gandhi circle.
Recommend us to drink here.
This will be all bottled, the fizzy drinks as we call them, all the colas and all that. Yeah, we'll go there. And then if you want tender coconut, we can just walk a little further up, you'll find tender coconut there.
Okay. How long this tour will take?
Just another 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
10. Just be careful, huh?
Yeah.
Could be a little slippery. Because all the leaves, no? They fall and then they make it all mushy.
Yeah.
Also, Mari, I am a short man. So, in case if we are going to religious place where shorts are not allowed, let me know in advance.
When we go to the temple, especially Mangishi, you'll maybe have to cover up.
Which day?
Now, today.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the
I
lungi.
have one lungi in advance.
Yeah. Just have to have a little thing to wrap around. That's enough. But at the temple also, they give you a wrap around, like if you have not bought anything.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi, Denzel, how are you? Now, this is all that remains of what they call the Palace of Adil Shah. But although they call it the Palace of Adil Shah, if you go closer, you will see that the sculpturing, the inscriptions on it are more Hindu and European. Because most likely, this could have been the palace of the Kadamba dynasties who were ruling Goa before.
Kadamba?
Yeah, there was
Bahubali.
No. There's a dynasty called Kadamba dynasty. Okay. So they were ruling over Goa. So it could have been their palace, and then the Muslims took it over, Adil Shah made this his palace, and then it became the residence of the Portuguese viceroys, yes, such. Now this what you're looking at in the front is the convent of the Church of St. Cajetan, San Caetano, Gaetano, different people pronounce it differently. It is built, not the exact date is not known, it is believed to be somewhere in the middle of the 17th century, around 1651. And it was planned or designed to be a replica, as you can read over here, a duplicate of the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, but the only similarity I can see is the dome of the cupola. Otherwise, it is very much has, the Portuguese arches, the towers on either side of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is no longer used as a church. It is just kept as an archaeological monument, because this entire site, besides being a World Heritage Site, is also looked after or maintained by the ASI, that is the Archaeological Survey of India. So they are responsible for the upkeep and the maintenance of the churches. The religious ceremonies are basically held in the Basilica and the Cathedral.
Okay.
Otherwise, these churches, most of them are just archaeological monuments. They don't have any prayers or services every day. Yeah.
So
Now,
tourists.
yeah. The monastery part of it is now called the Pastoral Institute. It's like, a higher study, advanced studies for the priests after they finish their theology, the study of priesthood. They have to come for a training here.
Okay.
It's normally lasts for 2 years, but it is not essential that they do it at one stretch. They can be here for a few months, go back, come, go back. But they have to complete the course at the Pastoral Institute.
But it's not allowed for us, right?
No, it's private, as you can see.
Yeah.
It's very private. We can't go in.
And some can be here years.
Sorry?
Some can be here years.
Not years. Normally, it's a course of 2 years, but they don't stay continuously here. Watch your step. Huh?
Yeah.
They don't stay continuously over here. They do it for a few months, go back, do their work in the churches and all that. Sometimes come back and so forth. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So this is the church that we're entering of St. Cajetan or Sir Caetano. All the churches, they were mostly planned or designed by the Portuguese or the Europeans in general. But the people working on these churches actually with their hands were local Indians. So you will see features, touches which are more local, more Indian rather than Portuguese or European. For instance, when you look up at the main altar, right where the crown is, then below the crown on either side of it, you have like the cherubs. And honestly, the cherubs were holding on to what we would consider the 5-armed temple lamps, but you see the arms have broken over the years. So this is like a local or an Indian touch.
2 lamps now.
Yeah, just they were decorative. This is not lighted up. They were more decorative wooden pieces. Okay. But they were like, those 5-armed lamps that you see in the temples. Yeah. It was a representation of that. Now, when you come closer to the pulpit, be careful. All wood, yeah. So, for instance, here, like in Christianity, they're very particular of what sort of fruits or vegetables they use, like mainly grapes and, certain things that they use. But here, if you look at the base of it, of the wood attached on the wall, on the bottom, they have like pomegranate, okay? Then the bottom of the pulpit has got the banana flower, which is fixed in the upside.
Banana flower?
No. The top pomegranate is on the wall. Okay. See? Then the lower bit, that is like the banana flower, which is attached into the lotus flower, upside down lotus flower. If you come this side, then you will see the cashew fruit over there with the cashew nut. You see on the wall, on the side here? Okay. You see the cashew fruit and the nut. You all also have cashews in Sri Lanka, so you recognize it. And these are representations of the 4 evangelists, Mark, Matthew, John and Lucas. The angel, the eagle, the angel, eagle, lion and bull. Okay. So this is supposed to be the bull, the lion is on the other side.
Bull is basically
it represents Saint Mark, Matthew, and John is Saint John, if I'm not mistaken, is the eagle. Then Mark is the angel. Matthew is the lion, and this over there. Yeah. Now those 2 doors over there, are leading to a crypt, and this crypt would be the place where bodies of high officers of the church who died in Goa but did not want to be buried in Goa, they would be embalmed over there and kept. And when the next official ship set a sail for Portugal, they would send it over there. So that was where the embalming of the bodies, there's a crypt at the back. Now, of course, it's out of bounds of the people. But at one time when we had just started guiding and all, you could walk to the back and through the doorway go down, because these were shut, but there was an entrance at the back. Now it's totally, out of bounds for the local people. Yeah. So this is all teak wood with a lot of gold leaf on it. And over the years, of course, the gold leaf has faded. Now all the stucco work that you see on the ceiling, yeah?
Gold leaves?
Gold. Gold leaf means fine gold plating. Okay. They call it gold leaf because they would make like little leaflets or something and stick it on, they say, of gold. So it's called gold leaf because of that. And on the top, in the stucco work, now it is all whitewashed by the ASI, but at one time this stucco work was beautiful. It has shades of blues and pinks and yellows and all these colors. Yeah.
Oh, colorful! I can see some patches, so something left on the top.
On the top, yeah. No, that's the effect of the monsoon. Rain. Yeah, but otherwise you can see in the niches out there, they were brighter than those colors. I mean, more pinkish. This is more terracotta. This is modern colors.
And what this one?
This was, after the Second Vatican Congress, we had the altar coming from there. That was the main altar. And till then, till 1968, the service was facing the altar and back to the people. But the Second Vatican Congress made it compulsory that the priest faces the people and not back the people. So that was when, instead of having the service over there, it was moved to over here. Over here. Yeah.
And that must be a podium for the...
Yeah, for the homily, reading of the gospel and giving the pravachan or the sermon. That will be done. Yeah, you can step on it. Yeah, that was where the sermons would be done. That's all. This is all basalt stone.
Basalt.
Basalt stone.
Whoa.
It's very strong. Stone. It's not wood.
Like going to carry. Don't careful.
I'll read here.
How many years this church?
This is supposed to be in the middle of the 17th century, 1651.
16.
All the churches are basically during that period, 1600s. Very honey? 1600s basically. Like the first one we went, I told you 1602, 1627, this is 1651, then the Basilica is 1611, 10, so forth. These are confessionals. You'll see more elaborate ones in the Basilica, more artistically, more carved down. And this is very different from Europe, because the Europe one would be like totally enclosed, but because of the heat and the humidity, these are more open, and they would just have like little flaps. So when the confessions were done, the flap was closed, so you couldn't see the face of the priest. The person, of course, was kneeling outside, but you couldn't see the face of the priest. You see a better example in the Basilica when we go to the Basilica.
So we're almost done here now.
Yeah, we are done with this church. Now you can go and have something to drink there, or you want to have a coconut water, we'll walk up to the coconut water. Then if you feel you want to go into the Basilica, we can go there. Into the Cathedral. Otherwise, then we'll call for the car and drive straight to the Basilica. I'll leave it to you to decide. Cathedral is another church. Like, the Catholic churches have four hierarchies of churches, grading. Okay. So the common one where you find everywhere is a chapel, that's the lowest order. Then you have a church, then you have a basilica, then you have a cathedral. Basilica is a church which has been conferred the title of a basilica normally when it houses the relics of a saintly person, like you have the relics of St. Francis Xavier here, or else when it has been responsible for the spread of Christianity on a very large scale. And cathedral is like the main church or the head church, which usually used to be the residence of the bishop at one time. So this is like the head church of the diocese or of the area of Goa.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's another church, but they call it the cathedral, and that cathedral was built to give thanks to Saint Catherine, because I told you on her feast day, the city was captured. Okay. And Alfonso de Albuquerque dedicated the victory to her, and he made a promise or a vow that he would build a church in her honor. And the construction of the cathedral was started in 1594 and completed, was started in 1562 and was completed in 1652, 90 years long. It took so long because one, the size of the church, it is considered to be one of the biggest churches of South Asia. Two is because the neighboring area, which was under the Indians, the Hindus, they were constantly fighting and trying to take away, the area from the Portuguese. So whenever there was war, there was battle, they used to stop building. And third reason was that the funding was done by the government, the Portuguese. So Portugal itself was under the Spanish influence from 1560. So forth.
It's worth of visiting, right?
Sorry?
It's worth of visiting.
It's quite nice. It has its own little but the facade you can see the front of the facade from the road itself. So if you want to go in, we can quickly go in and come out. Otherwise, you can have your nariyal pani, whatever, call the car, and we can go to the Basilica.
Let's have nariyal pani.
Yeah.
And anyway, we passing by, so you can just capture.
Okay, fine.
You definitely need some rest.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm fine. Provided you're happy with it, I'm fine.
I'm absolutely super happy.
Thank you.
I don't have word to explain. I'm that much happy. I'm so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
I'm little worried. You keep talking.
No, that's why I carry water with me. I always have water in my pocket because that's what I need. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Let's drink some nariyal pani and then something. Take
I'm
some
fine.
rest.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
And so after this nariyal pani, where are we going to go?
You can either go into the cathedral if you want, otherwise we'll call the car and we'll drive down to the Basilica. That's where the remains of the relics of St. Francis Xavier are, just a few minutes from here. And after we finish that, then we drive about 20 minutes where the where the Balaji temple is. We do the Balaji temple, then from Balaji temple, the Mangishi temple is barely 5 minutes away. And
Let's go to Xavier, please.
Okay, so we'll have the Nariyal Pani, we'll call the car and then we'll go to St. Francis Xavier. Now, we are walking towards what we call the Basilica of Bom Jesus. It's also sometimes referred to as the Church of St. Francis Xavier because it is in here that the remains of the relics of St. Francis Xavier lie. Now,
So this is where the body is.
Yes. Now, this is a Jesuit church, a Jesuit monument. And it is said that the Jesuits chose this site because at one point this was a big pit, a big arena where people would organize and hold cockfights. And to get rid of the gambling habits, they decided to build or construct their basilica over here. But
You hold my finger.
it didn't it didn't stop them. It just that they went from point A to point B. But the entire funding, the entire money for the construction of this, the write-up of the entire construction, the entire funding of this basilica was given by a Portuguese captain called Jerónimo Mascarenhas. So the construction started in 1594 and it was completed in the year 1605. So it's like an early 17th century church. So this is the basilica. Now when we are in the front of the church, I'll show you the main altar because it won't really be possible to explain inside. So I'll explain here and then we'll walk inside.
That's fine, if I can't hear now,
Yeah.
I'll get clear
Right.
voice cut of you
Yeah.
because of the camera.
So this is basically the main altar of the church. Now on the top you see the symbol of the sun with IHS. Now that is the logo of the Jesuits, which if you translate it to English, it stands for Jesus, Savior of Humanity. And and the statue below it, the big statue, that is Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuit order. Now right below him in the white dress, the little statue is baby Jesus or infant Jesus, to whom the church is dedicated. Because in Portuguese, Bom Jesus means good Jesus, or in other words, infant Jesus. Well, at present, the services are held in the front. When you go inside, you will get a clearer look. You have the scene of the Last Supper with Jesus and the 12 apostles, and it's written in Konkani, Hi Moji Kud, meaning this is my body. Now traditionally, actually Konkani was written with the Hindi or the Devanagari script. But when the missions arrived here, it was impossible for them to read and write Konkani with the Hindi or the Devanagari script. Sorry. So that they started using the Roman and the Latin script. So Konkani today is written by the church with the Latin script or the Roman script, and everybody else in the schools and write with the Hindi or the Devanagari script. Yeah. Come, let's go in.
So inside no camera.
No camera, but even then you will still find people. You will still find people doing it, because unfortunately many times people remember only one rule, that rules are meant to be broken. That's the problem. Hi, morning. So this is the more elaborate confessional. You can go in that side and have a better look at it. That one was very simple. So the priest would be sitting here, and then these flaps would be open during the confessions, and the people would be kneeling. So one person, so if there was somebody confessing here, this would be open so that air could come and he would be talking to this guy. Then when somebody came the other side, this would open and that would close. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's so hot and stuffy in the summers, they have to have it more airy over here.
Yeah.
Here we have the pulpit where the sermons were given, because at that time there was no addressing system. So the access to the pulpit was from the outside. And that is the cenotaph kept in the memory of the funder, the financer of the church, the Captain Geronimo Mascarenhas. Yeah. Now here you can see more clearly the scene of the Last Supper, Jesus with the 12 apostles, and written in Konkani, Hi Moji Code, meaning this is my body. And opposite side on the left is the tabernacle where they keep the Blessed Sacrament. Again, you will see the local influence of minarets on either side of it. Yeah. Meaning this is my body.
Where is the body?
I'll show you. The relics of St. Francis Xavier are on the top up there. So it's all silver. Then there's a glass coffin inside. In that there's a vacuum, and a photograph of it is kept down here. So that's what is down inside. Is the photograph is down there.
So one right hand.
The right arm is not here. I told you it's in the Vatican.
Oh, it's in the Vatican?
Yeah, I'll explain to you. You can see only the left arm is there.
Yeah.
Good morning. So you can see only the left arm is there resting on the, on the chest. The right arm is not there. It's in the Vatican.
Good hand, no?
Yeah, yeah. This is the photograph during the exposition. So I told you when they have the exposition and they bring him down, they place him like this only in the glass coffin.
So the actual body is same like
Yeah,
this?
yeah. This is how it is on the top up there.
How many years?
He died in 1552.
Oh, wow.
1552.
Yeah, 400 years like relics only.
Now, sometimes you have pilgrim groups, who want to have a service conducted. So these vestments are basically for them. And then displayed here are the photographs of the relics of St. Francis Xavier. And you will see the photograph of the right arm, which is in the Vatican. The last photograph is of the right arm, which is in the Vatican. The rest of the photographs is how he looks now here. That was the model of the, that's the tomb, sorry.
Yeah.
The coffin, where he was initially placed. So you can notice he's quite a short man. Yeah. And you notice there are 3 keys. So because it had to have the representative from the church and the administration present when, they were opening it for the exposition. So one key would be like with the governor, one key would be like with the bishop, and one key was supposed to be with the king of Portugal, but always kept here with the governor because it was impossible for the king to travel down. No?
And this is him?
Yeah, the wooden statue of him. Now this was the seminary or the living quarters of the Jesuits. At one time there were like couple of hundreds over here. Now it's reduced to a mere 4 priests who work in the church here. Yeah.
Sound and light show.
That's about the life of St. Francis Xavier and the life of Jesus. Just a pre-recorded, related sort of history with statues and, like all that.
St. Francis Xavier.
Yeah, the same St. Francis Xavier whose relics are lying in the coffin on the top up there. Now you have the belfry there. You were asking me, in the St. Augustine's Tower, it looks like there are stories. This was how it is. Gives an appearance of a story, but no stories as such. Only the tower had like this. And even today, physically, till this level, there's a rope there, and you ring it from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mother Teresa.
Yes.
Small things.
Ronaldo. Oh,
So Xavier is originally Goan.
Sorry?
Xavier is
No, he's Spanish. He
Spanish.
came as a missionary on the invitation of the Portuguese. Like the congregation was formed in 1536, and he came for the first time as a missionary on the invitation of the Portuguese to Goa in 1542. He's not Goan, but he had a very strong, attachment or affection for this place. So that is why he has been brought and kept over here.
So it's originally from Spanish.
He's Spanish. Yeah. Now one thing.
Are we going there also?
Yeah. That was the cathedral. You said you don't want to go over there, right? So before we go there, I just want to show you something very interesting.
Okay.
Now this tree, the top has broken, but this is the tree that they call the Java plum tree or the skunk tree, and this tree grows really tall, and most of the main churches, would have these trees because remember in olden days, this was the natural lightning conductor. So as the tree was generally taller than the church, if there was any chance of a lightning striking, it would strike this tree and not the church.
To protect
the church from being hit by the... This has sort of...
like a sharp edge, right?
Yeah, it normally goes right up. For some reason, this has broken.
Yeah.
But otherwise, now they have a lightning conductor modern times. But in the olden times, there was nothing as a lightning conductor. No? So this was the natural lightning
But it's
conductor.
not growing that big.
It grows,
No,
but
I mean
maybe...
this tree.
It normally, even sometime it was quite tall, but I think with the wind it broke.
Okay.
Yeah, because when it's tender on the top and if a strong wind comes, it just can break. Yeah. So this was the olden days natural lightning conductor.
amazing.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh, sorry.
That is to be expected here with the crowds that are here.
Correct.
1 minute. The Balaji temple. It's more like a South Indian minor deity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We are in the area of Ponda, in the temple, in front of the temple of Lord Balaji. But this is not an old temple. The one that we are going to is an old temple. This is a more modern temple.
okay.
Yeah. And the older temples, this is like now you see this copper tower-like thing. This is a mock of the original Deepa Stamba. So when I take you to the the Mahalsa temple, you see the real original old ones. Of course, the Deepa Stamba is not as old as the temple because the metal one. But it is a good example of the original, exactly the authentic Deepa Stamba.
So Shiva is basically Lord Shiva or some
Shiva. Shiva is Lord Shiva, yeah.
Oh.
So as I was saying, So in Goa, they have this Mangal Sutra. And Mangal Sutra, if you literally translate it into English, means the auspicious cord. And that is tied around
Mangal
the
Sutra.
Mangal Sutra.
Basically,
That this which is tied in the you
The
have like
married
a
woman.
cord. You saw that lady there
Yeah.
with a lot of black beads,
Yeah.
and the most important part of that Mangal Sutra is the black beads. And the gold will vary depending on how much gold she wants or depending on how wealthy the husband is. Yeah. These must have been used, the lamps, for the Diwali and all. No? So now they are waste. So they just dump them there. Maybe they'll pound them, break them, and use them, recycle them for make the new diyas later. The next temple I'm taking you to is very photogenic.
Yeah.
Really nice. Again, inside they don't allow, but outside we can do.
Yeah. It's for the
So where are we going after this?
We are going to the Mahalsa temple, which is about maybe max 10 minutes, max. Should be less, but max 10 minutes.
ice breeze.
Chakli.
His favorite.
Here you see it's not that crowded, but
Yeah.
you can actually see the temple in peace.
Which one will you take?
Which one you want?
Which one will you take? Which one, baby?
Whatever he's going to give us. तो इसमें नहीं दिएगा, ये नहीं दिएगा।
हाँ, वो आपको अंदर प्लेट देता है, इसमें भरने का मतलब। चाय से।
So you have Lord Vishnu there, and then you can see in his hand he has the conch or the shell. Next to Vishnu is Ganesha, the elephant-headed god. Okay. Next to Ganesha, the dark is Shiva. You can see the trident in his hand. In front of him is of course Lakshmi, who's the wife of Vishnu.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that is Narayan, who was supposed to be the messenger, who was supposed to be. This is Hanuman here with the monkey king.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have, that is, 1 minute, I'm a little confused who that is. Then that is supposed to be the Kalki, half man, half horse, the 10th incarnation, which is yet to come. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be Garuda, the one who helped Rama,
Yeah.
when he needed help, to find Sita and all that.
Correct.
Yeah.
In Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka. And Hanuman and Garuda were the two ones who helped Rama during his this to Sri Lanka. Now this is one of the main this of Hanuman, and they sometimes in many temples they have this, which is like a part of the old temple, because these are all reallocated temples. So as a symbolic gesture of literally bringing things like from that area to literally reshifting the temple over here, they have bought a piece of it. Yeah. So this is why the people will come worship here and then go into the temple. Now, by
the first point of
yeah.
worship,
Then here we have two things. That is the traditional Deepa Stamba, meaning the lamp tower. And you see those ledges, no?
Yeah.
So on every level of the ledges, they would have these terracotta oil lamps, fill them with coconut oil, place cotton wicks and light it up, illuminated in the evenings. Now this one here is a more modern one, I think added in the 1970s, but this is the story of Vishnu. Vishnu has one form where he's a tortoise, a kurma. So this is the base of it is like the tortoise. Then on the tortoise you have the lamp, and there's a story of Lord Vishnu taking that form because they wanted to churn the pot of nectar which was at the bottom of the ocean. But when they put the mandara, when they put the hill to churn it up, it started sinking. So Vishnu took the form of a turtle, and then the mountain rested on his back, and they churned the ocean, and the pot of the nectar, the amrit, came up. And that was when the gods drank it. Now there's a story about that the naga, the snake, was used as a rope. Cobra. So that is why the point where they keep the wicks is the head of the naga, the head of the snake. You can see.
So this is head of the snake or head
No.
of the...
This is the turtle. This is the actual turtle. Then the naga was used to churn up. So the head of the naga is the point where the cotton wicks are kept.
This one.
Yeah. So on Sunday evening, this is the ladder. They'll pull this ladder.
So this one is like the snake.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
head
yeah,
of
it
the
is.
snake.
Yeah.
So they will paste the cotton wicks in it. Yeah. And the entire lamp actually symbolizes the hill or the mountain which was used to churn up the ocean to bring the pot of the nectar up.
We have same thing in Sri Lanka, but not like this. Very small one, 2 or 3 layers that been used in wedding or funeral or any opening ceremony
Okay.
like that.
Here on Sunday evenings is the temple like day. So yesterday evening they must have lighted this up. And this is the ladder they used to fill it up and place the cotton wicks. This is the ladder. They put it here and then they fill it up from the top to the bottom and they paste cotton wicks. So every Sunday evening they light this up. Entire thing, this whole thing from the top to the bottom. It looks beautiful. This is, like what you would call a flag tower. Like the Catholics have, whenever there's a feast going on, they have a flag. So this is called the Garuda Stamba. Means they have the flag of the Garuda, which is the bird of Lord Vishnu. Because Vishnu is supposed to be traveling on the back of the Garuda. So this is the Garuda tower.
So flag will be on the top?
Flag will be on the top when they put it up. Again, they use these ladders to do all that. So if you want to walk around, let's pick our shoes and they do. Yes, this is the oldest one. This was newly added, I told you, in the 90s. This one. That is the old one, but they have now painted it and plastered it. It looks modern. But originally, it was very plain. And then on these ledges, these ledges which are there, that was where the diyas were kept. Now they don't use that. They only light this one up.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is very different from the Mangishi temple. That's why I brought you here. Plus that is, as you saw how many tourists are there, we would not even be able to go and stand inside in peace.
Yeah, just like...
like the Basilica.
Correct.
And here, at least we can walk around, have a feel of the place. And this has more character to it rather than the Mangishi temple.
Correct.
Now, on either side, recently constructed, of course, these are called agarshalas. Basically, they are meaning guest rooms. Okay. But these guest rooms, like if you come as a tourist, you want a room, you cannot come here. This is only for people who come on a pilgrimage or come to pay their visits to the god, or the goddess.
For free?
No, they have a very nominal fee because you have to upkeep the thing. No?
Yes.
So they have a very nominal fee. And down below is the big hall where the weddings are usually organized. Wedding, the shadi.
Okay.
Yeah, they have them over here.
Wedding hall, this one?
Yeah, this is the wedding hall. They have the wedding, then they have what they call the mundan. When the boys come of age, you must have noticed they put that holy thread.
Yeah.
That is called the mundan. They have it over here.
Yeah, basically Hindu wedding very much connected with the temple, right?
And then, at times they also do what they call the fire worship or the yagna as they call it. Now, they can't do it inside the temple. So, this is basically the area where they have the yagna, the fire worship. And you will see like little places where we would say like campfire sort of thing. So, it depends on how many priests you want. Sometimes you can have a single priest or you can have multiple priests sitting simultaneously all around and doing the yagnas. So, they will put the firewood. When they took that prasad, they found that this temple, this deity, the Mahalsa Narayani wanted her temple over here. So they reallocated the Sateri, the goddess. The oldest worship was worship of nature. So Sateri is nothing else but the worship of the anthill. An anthill symbolizes the entire lifestyle or the life cycle of a human being. Okay. So this deity, the Sateri, has been shifted from there to here. So we can go in and then we can come out. Yeah.
Oh, they have timing.
Yeah, and they must be gone for their lunch now.
Came to me and apologize.
Oh, really? Wow.
He thought I'm a foreigner.
Now, these are all like in Catholicism, we have saints, no? They don't have saints, but they have what they call the lesser degree deities, what they call the tutelar deities as such. And these are the homes of the temple priests. And like in many religions, anybody can join and be a priest. But in Hinduism, you have to be born into the priestly family to continue the tradition of a priest.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. And those are mostly the Brahmins, as they call them. Yeah. And on the special day, special temple feast day, they have these big chariots, the big
Yeah.
raths, as they call them.
So what is behind like a river?
It's a river.
There's basically the pond, because the olden days, the people would come
take
and
bath?
have a bath in this
Oh,
temple
yeah.
pond and then go for the puja to the inner sanctum of the temple. When you wanted to go to the inner sanctum of the temple, you had to take a bath. The outer sanctum, where we were standing,
yeah.
even Hindus can go there without a bath. But if they want to go to the inner sanctum, they had to have a
take
bath.
bath.
So now,
part.
to this part. Now what has happened, they don't use that tank. They use it to irrigate the paddy fields and all that. Instead, they will take up a room, have a shower in the room and all that. But in the olden days, this concept wasn't there, no? So everybody would have bath in the tank and then would go for the puja in the temple. Yeah.
This other entrance. No?
Yeah, the two side entrances.
The Mahalsa canteen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is all veggie food. Thali, all veggie.
Veggie thali.
Yeah. And most of the temple food or food which is prepared by the Hindus at special functions and all is without onion and without garlic. Huh? Yeah.
Without onion, without garlic.
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know, it has something to do with, I think, what they believe, that it increases your sexual powers or something of that sort.
Yeah, it's
What they call it, sometimes I cannot pronounce it very well, asphodelic, something like that.
aphrodisiac.
Yeah, correct. I'm always getting this with that word.
Go up some.
Yeah, that was the drum room. Now, when the communal puja took place, it was to be always loud and noisy with the pealing of the bells and the beating of the drums. So, in this temple, you had the drum room on the top.
So there will be few drummers.
Yeah, when the puja happens, the main puja. Yeah, the communal puja. Otherwise, Hindus can come and offer their offerings in the temple individually as and when they want. But they do have a communal puja. And it is not exactly compulsory for you to attend the communal puja, but they do have one over here.
Why he asked me to make sweet of this and eat?
It's not of this, of the coconut actually. He pointed to the flower, but coconut.
Oh,
Like it's supposed to be like an offering now from which you have offered the temple.
Yeah.
So usually they take that, make a sweet out of it and eat it at home, the Hindus.
Okay.
Our cars in the front. And I don't know if you've noticed, but all the Hindu houses have this structure,
Really? Oh, yeah.
some very colorful, some very beautiful, very elaborate. You can see over there, it's like almost a
Yeah.
mermaid. That is called the tulsi, because the plant that is
Tulsi.
planted on the
It's
plant
the
is the
tulsi.
Indian basil or the
Yeah,
tulsi plant.
tulsi, yeah.
And that is considered to be the
Holy.
incarnation of the wife of Lord Vishnu. So now we had Diwali,
Yeah.
So 14 days after Diwali, be careful, they celebrate the feast of Tulsi. And that marks the beginning of the most auspicious season for the weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why this, guest house with some...
These are all the what we call the Rishi Munis, like the holy men of the Vedas. Yeah, there'll be wise. I don't know to recognize them. I'll tell you very honestly.
basically
There'll be
for
the one who
religious
wrote the
people to come and
Ramayana, Mahabharata. All these like.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
This our Irfan.
Yeah. It's your Irfan.
इरफान अभी पंजिम जाएंगे सर को अभी लंच करने का है बाद
हमको
में
नहीं है, आज इरफान को लंच करने दें। हमको इरफान के साथ लंच करना था, तो हमेशा स्किप करता था, इग्नोर करता था।
ऐसा नहीं
आज तो छोड़ने वाला नहीं है, क्या बोलता है? ऑलराइट, सी यू देन एट लंच।